We got 40 new graded coins in. We're going to be showing you all these coins, a bunch of key dates, a bunch of dollars, some nicer coins. Starting off with this 1878 Carson City Morgan dollar, graded MS65. Beautiful gem uncirculated coin. First year of the Morgan dollar series, the first Carson City date in the Morgan dollar series. We have a 1929 $2.50 gold Indian, graded MS63 with a CAC sticker. Just a nice wholesome coin, pre-33 gold. Not a huge premium on this coin either over the gold price. Tougher to get gold with CAC stickers on it as well. As always, all these coins are available at regencycoins.com. Use code YouTube10 for 10% off your order. Here's an 1882 Carson City Morgan, graded MS63. Nice Carson City Morgan. These are actually going up quite a bit for whatever reason. The Carson City, BU Carson Cities used to be like 300 to 350. Now it seems like in a decent grade they're anywhere from 340, 350 up to 450 or so. So these have been doing pretty well recently. We have another 1878 Carson City. This one's graded AU53. I love the 1878 Carson City's first year of the Morgan dollar series. And they have the 1878 reverse with the flat breast feathers there. Excuse me. You can see the difference between the rounded breast feathers from 1879 onward to 1904 at least, and then you have the flat breast feathers of the 1878. Kind of fun. We have an 1898S Morgan in MS63 with an old PCGS holder. Nice coin, always collectible with the old PCGS holders. So we've got the green label. It's a 98S, so it's a little bit of a better date as well. We have another old holder. I can get it out of here. 1890S this time, NGC MS65. This is in the old NGC fatty holder. Also collectible. And a nice 1890S. I like the reverse of this coin a lot. We have an 1893 Philadelphia Morgan in AU53. Obviously any 93 Morgan is going to be better. This is the Philadelphia version. Nice luster on this coin. We have an 1880S Morgan in AU53. A little bit of luster remaining on this coin. Pretty typical for a low AU grade. Another AU53, this time a 1901S. A tougher date in the series. These tougher date Morgan dollars are always fun to get. They don't last too long, just because they're actually pretty hard to find. Usually very collectible. Here's a proof-like Morgan, 1896 proof-like. We don't get a whole lot of proof-like coins in. Nice reflective surfaces you can see there, and this one's an NGC MS66 as well, on a 96 Philadelphia Morgan. Just some light proof-like surfaces, not deep mirror or anything, but nice honest proof-like. A 1924S piece dollar in MS64 plus PCGS. This coin gets really rare in MS65 and 66 grades. I don't think PCGS is graded any higher than the MS66. So a nice cutoff before it gets a really high bump in price. An 1891 Morgan. This one's MS63. Another tough coin in high grades. This is an expensive coin in MS66 as well. MS65, it jumps to like 3,500 bucks or something. An 1898S Morgan MS63, another one of these. It's got a light toning on it. This does have a chipped holder if you're interested in it. Nice light reverse toning as well. I think these have all been dollars so far, but we got a couple other ones coming up here. 1896 Morgan, a tough date, MS61. These are really hard to find uncirculated. in any uncirculated grades. A lot of these tougher day Morgans are like almost impossible to get in like the higher grades. They have huge price bumps. Here's an 1807 cap bust $50. This is they actually made two different $50 varieties this year. The drape bust, which is the right facing bust, and then they had the cap bust as well, which is this one. This was the later part of the year, I suppose. It's got some sort of like die clash or something going on there, some sort of variety. If you're a variety guy, maybe you know what's going on there. I don't really do a whole lot of varieties, but these are cool because they made this the cap bust left facing from 1807 to 1839, I guess, in a couple different varieties. Here's the 1921D Morgan MS65. These are tough coins in gem and up. This one's in a slightly older blue holder as well. Nice lustrous coin. 1897 these New Orleans mints in the 90 or 86, 87, 96, 97, obviously 94, 93, 95. Always in those date ranges are really tough to find. Nice. Usually don't come too strongly struck. Luster is usually pretty muted. Here's a 1923S, another coin which is extremely rare in gem grades. MS66 coins are almost unattainable. 23S and MS66 is like a $60,000 coin. So this one's significantly discounted from that, just one grade below. And I like buying coins in that range where the next grade or the next couple grades are like unattainable. Here's a 1889S MS64 Morgan. This one is, in my opinion, undergraded. Look at how clean that cheek is. Super clean cheek for a 64. I would have probably cracked this one out. I'm trying to do less cracking out of old holders. I think it's probably better to keep them fresh like this. But look at that clean cheek. Let me try to find another 64. I don't know if we've seen any 64s so far. Let's see. Compare it with a 65, I guess, if that's the best we can do. Yeah, it looks like that's the best we can do. So here's a 65. It's an 1878, so they grade a little bit differently. But you can just see how clean the cheeks are on the 65 here, MS65 versus the MS64 on this 89S. It's got a little bit of chatter, but I mean, chatter's expected, honestly, on any Morgan dollar. You don't really get, unless the hits are critical, like really, really deep, usually they can be overlooked to some degree until you get to like the MS66 range. Like even 65, this is like a common misconception when grading silver dollars, is people way overanalyze the hits on the cheek. A gem like MS68 coin, I mean, in my opinion, they shouldn't have too many hits, but I see a lot of 68s, especially in NGC, with a lot of scuffing on the face, on the cheek specifically. I wish I had an example, but even in the 67, like 67 range, there's a lot of contact is allowed. It just can't be too deep or too distracting, I guess. Here's a 1934S key date piece dollar. This one has filed rims. You can see something's going on up there. Someone tried to mess with it. Some rim stuff going on there as well on the other side of the coin. But a tough coin in uncirculated grades for sure. Next box, we got a 1935 Lincoln Wheat Cent in MS67 red. We have an 1893 Morgan. This is really cool, in an old green holder. 1893 Philadelphia Morgan. Key date, or one of the semi-keys, I guess, depending on what you consider a key. I consider any 93 a key. And this is nice 64 with the old green holder. Pretty cool package. An 1878 eight-tail feathers VAM 18 double date. You can see the doubling a little bit there over the one. I actually didn't even really notice. I looked at this coin, obviously listed it on the site and stuff, but I didn't really even notice that. But it's pretty clear. You can see it pretty clearly. See if I can zoom in anymore here. It's got clear doubling on the date. It's pretty fun. Attributed on the holder and everything, and an MS62, so pretty affordable. 1923 old blue holder, MS65 piece dollar, just a gem piece dollar. Again, all these coins are available at regencycoins.com. Go check them out. We got hundreds of listings, over 300 coins listed right now. You can use code YouTube10 on anything on the website and get 10% off. 1928 Buffalo Nickel MS67. Some light toning on that. A little bit of toning on the reverse as well. A proof Walking Liberty $half in proof 66. PCGS. See the reflective contrast. Another coin which when we post, you probably see them on YouTube if you're subscribed. We post videos of like individual coins. And some coins, some series get way more comments from collectors, especially newer collectors than others. It seems like the Morgan dollars in MS65 plus with any contact marks on the face are always getting comments saying the coins are overgraded even when it's not necessarily true. And proof coins, especially 1936 to 1942 proof coins, we often get told that the coins aren't proof even if they're in proof holders. And I think the reason is these in particular, as well as like maybe the 1909 to 1916 like matte proofs, and some of the series just don't come with a cameo or deep cameo contrast. You can see how flat this proof coin is, but that's how they're made to look. There's no like deep mirrors here or anything. There's no frosting of the devices. And for some reason, collectors love to comment specifically on Facebook about how the coin's not a proof. So just a funny tangent, I guess. The coin's proof, especially if it's in a PCGS holder labeled as proof. Here's a 1942S PCGS MS65 CAC from the Dakota collection. This is a cool coin. Another really expensive coin. This coin's super lustrous, as you can see. I gotta like tap the screen to get it to adjust. It's messing the camera up. Super lustrous coin. An expensive coin in MS67. Is this a 40S? Oh, this is a 40S. Also an expensive coin in MS67. This one is a half point off, MS66 plus. I think this is like a $1,200 coin maybe. I think we have it listed for somewhere around there on the website. And for reference, an MS67 would be around 10,000. So there's a difference in price, a 10x difference in price for a half a grade. So I think there's a lot of value in these plus grades when there's like a huge jump in the next grade, in my opinion at least. Here's an 1895 O Morgan in fine 12. Nice. Also, I consider the 95 PO, obviously the O and then the S to be key dates as well. Obviously the P is like maybe the single key, proof only. 1928 piece dollar, extra fine 40. A key date in the piece dollar series. And it seems like I'm calling everything a key date, but that's because this is a batch of pretty much key dates. A lot of key dates in here, and this one's not a key date, but this is a MS68 Buffalo with some beautiful color. Probably the most common date in the series, but tough to find an MS68 grade even. Just beautiful color on this coin. This is a nice one. Love the look of this coin. $1932S, one of the keys to the Washington Quarter Series, one of the two that's actually hard to get, really. Some of the early 30s dates with mint marks are tougher to find, but some of the varieties as well. But in terms of just overall keys in any condition, 32S and D obviously are going to be the hard ones to find. This one's a 64. Another key date, 1928 piece dollar, this time in MS63 and GC graded. We have a 1944 MS67 Washington Quarter. $1890 Carson City AU58, tougher coin. Just short, a little bit of wear, a little bit of muted luster, just short of a MS60 or so, 61. A 1927 piece dollar, tough coin. Tough coin, especially in high grades. And this one's MS62 before there's some big price action. 23D MS62. It's like a little bit of a flashy coin. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit of flash to it. 1878 seven tail feathers, reverse of 78. So there's that flat breast again that we talked about earlier. The reverse of 79 is actually more valuable on the 78 variety, so always look for that. But the 78 reverse is more valuable on the 79S, so make sure you're looking at your 79S Morgans and your 78 Morgans. Here's an 1878 seven tail feathers. Here you go, reverse 79. There you go, that's a good example. So both of these are seven tail feather Morgans. This one, and at least, so this is a 64. This might be more valuable than the 61, but the grade equivalence, the reverse of 79 is going to be more valuable pretty much all the way up, I think. So the obverse is the same. The reverse is clearly different. You can see the flat breast there versus the rounded breast there. They just have a different look. I think that's like obviously the biggest tell, but they just look different. I feel like it's almost maybe the rounded breast feathers just make the luster a little bit sharper. These almost always come flatter. I like the look of the flat breast though. I don't know if it's because it's a 1 year only type of deal, but there you go, there's the difference. And we have an 1890 Morgan. This one's got like some weird, I don't know what those lines are in there, like someone polished the die or something. Like I know someone, this has to have a reason. I'm not big into varieties or any of that stuff, but this was obviously as made, but I'm not exactly sure what that would be from. If the die got scratched or something, or what. If you know what that is, you should definitely leave a comment. I think I'd appreciate it, and I think other people would too. But the reverse of this coin is actually pretty nice. And the 90O is a tough coin in high grades, but I don't know if you like that or not. I personally don't love the scratching there, but I'm sure it has some sort of minting significance. Those are the 40 coins that we got in. All of them are listed at regencycoins.com. Use code YouTube10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video.